Meg says she's gonna kill them. Dean doesn't care. Sam gets reading and Dean is interrogating Meg. Dean finally snaps. He screams in Meg's face that John isn't dead. He cannot be dead. It's very obvious that he's like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, he is just like a scared little kid in this moment. Like, he's lost his upper hand somehow. Even though Meg's so untied to a chair and Dean has Sam and Bobby on his side. Meg finally says John's not dead, but he will be. He's in Jefferson, Missouri. Back to my map. Missouri is beside Kansas and underneath Iowa, where they just were. So all of these states are touching each other. We are in an acceptable driving range.
Oh my gosh, guys.
For once.
You're doing great.
Like, Missouri's a little bit out of the way, but like that's not in like a bad way. In a way that makes sense. Dean then tells Meg that he lied and has Sam finish the exorcism. Bobby says if they exorcise the demon from Meg Masters, she'll die. Because again, Meg Masters is not the name of the demon. Meg Masters is the name of the girl. Knowing Bobby's backstory already, I have really mixed feelings about Bobby making this argument of like, maybe we don't exorcise Meg. But Dean is right. Like, whether she's gonna die or not, you can't leave the demon in her. That's very not a viable option. Both right and adamant that they send this demon back to hell and just like either help Meg or let her die. Like,
she's gonna die no matter what you do to her. Might as well prevent her suffering any longer.
Yeah, and like she ends up telling the Winchesters that like she's been possessed like this for a year and it's been awful. So like, why would we even prolong that? Like, Meg lives exactly long enough to feel bad about and give them a tiny little bit of information about where their dad is. Sam is in the full whisper while they're helping Meg. As soon as Meg is like demon free, he is in the whisper.
It's like, oh my gosh, a distressed woman. Hey, sweetie.
Literally starts whispering to her, even though like literally she was just like, and they were calling her a bitch.
Listen, he can adjust.
The boys leave Bobby with Meg's body, and Bobby gifts Sam his book on devil's traps and tells them to bring John by when they get him back, and even promises not to shoot him. I never wish anything good to happen to John, but I'm kind of sad that they never have a reunion.
Yeah.
That is just not how this episode is going.
No, but like, he promised not to shoot him, but he didn't say anything about punching him.
But like, also, like, I feel like they just like would have had a beer and been like, wow, I can't believe we didn't talk for like 15 years.
Still a terrible person? Yeah, alright.
Sam and Dean are stopped somewhere, and Sam is reading the book that Bobby gave them, and Dean is checking the guns in the trunk, and Sam's drawing a devil's trap on the trunk of the car with like a chalk marker. Sam says that they can't bring the Colt with them because they only have 3 bullets left and they need at least one of those to kill the demon. Plus, like, some extras would not hurt. And Dean's like, what about Dad? And Sam's like, yeah, exactly. Dad will literally kill us if we use all the bullets, and that's an important detail for later. Dean's like, who gives a shit what Dad wants? At least Dad will be alive. You've literally never cared about what Dad wants before. And Sam is equally pissed. Like, you're the one who said that we need Dad to kill the demon, and I care a lot about that. And you're the one that cares about what Dad wants. You're the one who's being out of character in this argument.
Come on.
Dean is realizing that he's created a taller, angry, smarter John Winchester when he picked Sam up from Stanford, and they're both ready to die on him at any minute. Like,
yo, goodness gracious.
He's like, Dad's been on the suicide mission for years, and god damn it, now Sam's on the same path.
I'm a Winchester. I need to be on at least one suicide mission at all times.
Exactly.
Dean's like, it's really selfish of the both of you to be trying to die on me all the time. And Sam's like, I do care about other things, including Dad, but logistically, if we bring the gun, then we risk losing it, and if we lose the gun, then we're all gonna die anyways, so let's not risk that. It's not obvious if you're not watching really closely, but having watched this episode at least 5 or 6 times, you can actually see Dean pull this sleight of hand with the fake Colt that John had. He says, fine, we're not bringing it, and then he adjusts his jacket, and a swap happens, and he holds up the fake Colt and then drops it in the trunk like Sam wants. It's excellently done.
Ooh. Wow. Now I need to go rewatch that.
So in character for Dean to just like pull this like sleight of hand. The boys see a building called Sunrise Apartments, which Meg had tried to tell them about. Any of the people inside could be humans or demons and either hurt them or get hurt. Like, if they are demons, then like they could hurt them, and if they're not demons, then they could get hurt by demons in the crossfire. So they decide they're just gonna go in the front door and they're gonna pull the fire alarm, and then they have 7 minutes before the fire department responds to come up with a further plan. We see John is tied up to the bed in one of the apartments, sprawled out like a starfish, just like tied up. Dean distracts the firefighter by pretending to be concerned about his Yorkie.
That's so cute.
It's really cute. Well, Sam steals them some firefighter gear. Interestingly, remember, Moira especially especially, and Meredith, because you guys recorded me in the pilot, I said that in 1983, Lawrence, Kansas Fire Department had lime green trucks. Trucks should have been green, but they weren't. These ones actually are green.
Oh, interesting.
Dean says he always wanted to be a fireman, and Sam is genuinely shocked. He's like, really? You never told me that? And I can see the thought process in this moment that Sam is having, like, maybe when this is over, I can convince Dean to do something else. I'm also sad, like, Sam really needed to hear that it was okay to want to be something other than a hunter, and Dean, like, was never able to provide that for him. And I also wonder how much of Dean, like, wanting to be a firefighter was affected by, like, what happened to their mom. Like, did that increase because of what happened to their mom, or did that, like, decrease because of what happened to their mom? Like, was he like, well, I wanted to be a firefighter, but then, you know, the firemen didn't save my mom? Anyway, we don't have time to dwell on that. They open the door to find John on the bed, and Sam stays at the door while Dean runs to John to check on him. Like, Sam literally doesn't even go into the room at first. Sam pours holy water on John to confirm that he's not possessed, and John wakes up, but he's, like, drugged and really out of it and not very helpful at getting them out of there.
Why are you putting water on me?
Yeah. Two more demons come in. One's dressed as a firefighter, so they have an axe, and they're just, like, chopping through the door. So they run down the fire escape, and a demon jumps Sam and throws Dean. But it's okay, because Dean brought the coal and makes a perfect headshot. The demon that Dean shoots in the head is apparently named Tom, and he's the same demon that was with Meg when they met John in the last episode.
Like the other supermodel with her?
Yeah, the one that shot Meg to test if the cult was real or not.
And I was so mad I wasn't there for that, because, like, siblings!
Literally.
I would shoot my sister. No, I'm kidding. Not any of the ones. Maybe my brother.
If you're any of the sisters that listen to this podcast, Meredith did not mean that.
Yes, no, I totally didn't mean that. Wink, wink.
Sam is now concussed and their dad is drugged. So Dean is just dragging his family down the street and they go to this cabin. Sam actually does thank Dean for saving his life and not listening to him. Not that Dean makes it easy. Dean, like, gives him a hard time about it. Dean doesn't feel great about it, though, because there was a person in the demon that he shot. And Sam's borderline with the whisper here. Dean says he's more bothered by the fact that he isn't bothered and the lengths that he's willing to go to save John or Sam scare him sometimes. And, yeah, it should, buddy.
Yep.
I mean, especially John. He ain't worth it.
Like, this is not even, like, I wouldn't even say in the top, like, 20 worst things that Dean has done to save Sam. I mean, up to this point, yes, but, like, overall in the show, no. Not even. Not even in the top 20.
These kids are disturbed.
These two. Anytime I see a monster threaten one of the Winchesters, I'm always like, oh, bud, that was it. You just sealed your death warrant. Like,
oh, no.
You're done.
And now I gotta watch.
John's awake now and says Dean did good, and this is where shit gets canonically bad in the current Winchester family dynamics. Like, we've seen that John was clearly bad at raising kids, and he's not any better with his adult sons, but this is, like, one of the most obvious scenes about how bad of a parent John Winchester is. Dean is like, you're not mad that I used a bullet? And John's like, no, son, I'm not mad. I'm so proud of you. And you can see on Dean's face that he's like, what? Dean literally looks to Sam like, did you hear what I just heard? Like, did Dad say what I think Dad said? The lights start flickering, and John's like, Sam, go, like, salt the doors and windows. And Sam's like, I already did that. I'm not stupid. And he's like, go check them so that they can be alone. And John's then like, hey, Dean, give me the gun. And Dean's like, no. Sam missed Azazel. I don't think shooting the demon's, like, a great plan right off the bat. And John's like, I'm not gonna miss, though. I'm a way better shot than Sam. And Dean's like, I don't know. And I think that the demon, his name's Azazel, we don't really know that, I don't think yet, but I'm just gonna call him that from this point on.
Sounds cool.
Because it's a good name, and I'm tired of saying the demon or the yellow-eyed demon. He is a name, it's Azazel. Azazel could have pulled this performance back together here. I think he could have still gotten away with it at this point. But he reacts very wrong in this moment. When Dean doesn't immediately hand over the gun, Azazel's like, hurry, son, please. And Dean was, like, a little bit suspicious before, and, like, then John would not say please. He would just start screaming at Dean to hand over the gun or, like, physically try and take it. And I think the fact that he was like, please, son, Dean got certain. He starts backing away from John, and he's gosh. He'd be furious that I wasted a bullet. He wouldn't be proud of me. He would be furious. You're not my dad. And he pulls the gun on John. And that is exactly what Sam said earlier, was that if we waste a bullet, Dad's gonna be pissed at us. And Dean did. Now John's not pissed. Yeah. Sam comes in and is like, what the hell is going on in here?
I leave for 4 seconds.
John is like appealing to Sam's need for vengeance, which, you know, so far this episode has really been the ruling factor. Sam like looks at Dean, they make eye contact for like 1 second, like Dean risks taking his eye off of the demon that's in their dad to like make eye contact with Sam for half a second. And Sam is then like, okay, no, Dean, I'm with Dean. Dean has his like fully convinced face on, and he basically like runs to stand behind Dean. Azazel's like, if you're really sure, kill me then. And Dean can't do it, but he is right. And the boys both go flying, and Azazel gets the gun. And it's like, yeah, holy water doesn't work on me, you idiots.
That would have been useful to know 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, really helpful. Azazel sets the gun down and is like, you want to kill me, Sam? You psychic this shit, and you can. I'll let you. And he's like relishing in the fact that he's been pretending to be John. He's still like alive and just like chilling in there. And Azazel considers Meg and the demon that Dean killed, Tom, his children, and is like, how would you feel if I killed your family? That's right. I forgot. I did. Azazel!
You're so funny!
It's actually way funnier with the context of Meg's joke earlier.
Yeah. It runs in the family. We make insensitive joke. That's what we do here.
Azazel reveals that Sam was shopping for engagement rings before Jess died, just to like rub it in. And Azazel's like, Mary and Jess, they were in the way of my plans for you, Sam, and all of the children like you, which means that there are more children like Max and Sam that we haven't met yet.
Ooh.
More on that next season.
Stay tuned.
Azazel then tries to go for Dean's abandonment issues, and Dean fucking Winchester claps back with, I bet you're real proud of your kids too. Oh wait, I forgot. I wasted them. Comedic genius Dean Winchester.
Coming right at you with the more insensitive jokes.
Literally, that's 3 jokes in a row with that format, and I love it. Just threw it right back at him. Even Azazel kind of finds it funny. Like, right before he starts, like, tearing into Dean. And Dean just starts bleeding randomly.
That sucks.
Dean resorts to just pleading with John to fight back, and we hear this underlying sound, and it starts with Azazel torturing Dean, and it's like a heartbeat. And not to get too far ahead, but we often will hear that with Sam's psychic thing. And I was like, oh, like, because Sam's psychic thing is linked to the demon. Forgetting that, no, we're hearing it because Sam's trying to do his psychic thing. Our baby is going for it.
Ooh.
So that's like a sound motif of the show that I really love. It really like culminates at the end of season 4, but it really starts here in season 1, which I like. I never really noticed it before. John takes control back for like half a second, and Sam falls and dies for the gun. And Hazel's like, just a reminder that if you shoot me, it's gonna kill John. And Sam's like, kinda hard to forget that. You're wearing my dad's face, thank you. And then just shoots him in the leg, which for some reason doesn't kill Azazel. I guess because the wound isn't fatal. Who knows what the rules of the stupid gun are. Sam runs to check on Dean first, but Dean's like, check on Dad. And Sam does not want to leave Dean, but he does because Dean tells him to. And John's like, the demon's still in me. Shoot me. Kill me. He starts pleading for Sam to kill him, and Dean's like, don't you do it, Sam. John is screaming at Sam, and this is the real John, I think. Maybe. It could be Azazel, depending on how you want to look at it. And Dean is, like, barely whispering, but Sam listens to his brother, and Azazel smokes out.
Oh, man. I love this scene so much.
The look that John Winchester gives Sam reminded me so intensely of the look that he gave young Dean in Something Wicked when Sam almost got eaten by the Striga.
Yes.
You can see for 1 second on Sam's face that he is still afraid, even though it's John.
I love that, like, this whole season, we've been, like, Sam is on, like, the same trajectory as John, and we're thinking he's gonna turn into John. Like, this moment is where we see that Sam isn't gonna do that, because we find out which line he's not gonna cross.
Yes, exactly.
Like, John has sacrificed the well-being of his sons to go after the demon, and it's more important to him than anything, but Sam refuses to sacrifice his family. Like, he considers the aftermath.
And even though, like, Sam and John have been together for, like, a couple of episodes now, they haven't spent a lot of time together, and Sam has been asserting his, like, independence and asking John for simple, basic fucking explanations before they take any given course of action. He's like, I will do what you say if you tell me why we're doing it. Like, it's not rocket science.
I'm just saying, I love that, like, the main difference between John and Sam is that Sam considers what he'll have to return to after the hunt is done.
Yeah.
It's like, like, to him, it's
Literally.
actually gonna finish one day.
Mhm.
John plans on dying at the end of this, so like that's been John's plan for like the last 20 years. So I'm gonna kill Mary, and then even if and especially if it kills me. So he has not been planning for an after, whereas Sam still is. To a point. He's been towing the line a little bit on not caring about that so much in the last couple, but he does seem to still want that. But all along, like, yeah, like we've been really we've been finding out more and more how alike Sam and John are, even though they don't get along with each